Why do I recommend the Razer Basilisk version 3 Pro over the Logitech G502 X Plus? We'll find out in this video. This is going to be a comparison video versus a review. My review of the Basilisk version 3 Pro will be coming, but I wanted to highlight some of the main differences that I've noticed between the two products that make it the premier choice over the G502 X Plus. Jumping into the differences, the Razer Basilisk has Bluetooth connectivity in addition to its 2.5 gigahertz USB receiver. With a simple slide of the power switch to the Bluetooth connection on the Razer Basilisk, I'm able to connect to my workstation, and then I can switch it back to 2.5 gigahertz mode to connect to my gaming rig. The G502 X Plus does not have Bluetooth connectivity. If this was the only difference between the two products, it would still be a deal breaker for me. The Razer Basilisk's buttons feel slightly better than the G502 X Plus. They have a little bit less play before the click happens, and the click just feels a little bit more satisfying and rigid than the G502 X Plus. Tactile feedback is one of the more important parts with a mouse or a keyboard. The more repeatable this process is, the more predictable it becomes, allowing you to build that muscle memory with that click. Not to mention, the Razer Basilisk has a 30K sensor and the G502 X Plus has a 25K sensor. While this is not particularly noticeable, it's nicer just to have higher quality parts in your products than your competition. And in this case, the Razer Basilisk has a nicer sensor in it than the G502X. Along the lines of having better features, the Razer Basilisk scroll wheel is much better than the G502 X Plus's scroll wheel, and it really shows. The way Razer handles switching between free spinning and tactile is amazing. I love the smart feature on the scroll wheel, and once you get used to it, you'll find yourself using it all the time. The G502 X Plus does not have that smart feature on its scroll wheel like the Razer does, and it's really obvious once you go back to using the Logitech G502X. The scroll wheel itself does not feel as good, and Logitech seems to be known for having less than satisfactory scroll wheels. Moving on to a few subjective differences in the products, the Razer Basilisk's RGB is leaps and bounds better than the G502 X Plus's. The Basilisk has underglow as well as some RGB on the scroll wheel, which the G502 X Plus does not have either of those. Not only that, the RGB on the Basilisk is more color accurate and brighter than the Logitech G502 X Plus. And if you want to see the RGB while you're using the mouse, the Basilisk has you covered, as you can see it very clearly while your hand is on the mouse. The G502 X Plus, on the other hand, you can't see any of the RGB when you're using it. The Razer Basilisk also has a slightly higher backside to the design versus the G502 X Plus. This extra height on the backside fits my hand better than the G502 X Plus. It just gives a more comfortable experience using the mouse. Like I said, those last two items are definitely subjective because not everyone's hand is the same size and not everyone cares for RGB, especially in peripherals like mice and keyboards. Now, the two things that the G502 X Plus does do better than the Razer Basilisk Pro is the G502 X Plus is able to be used while it's charging if you buy Logitech's charging mouse pad. The Basilisk does not have an option to charge wirelessly while you're using it, but you can plug in a USB-C into the mouse while you're using it to charge. The Logitech G502 X Plus does have two more buttons than the Razer Basilisk version 3 Pro does, and if you're looking for more buttons on a mouse, that might be a deal breaker for you. For me, I found those two buttons to be in an interesting position, and I ended up usually accidentally clicking them when I didn't want to, so it wasn't a big deal for me to forego having those two buttons by going with the Razer Basilisk version 3 Pro. Those are the reasons why I think the Razer Basilisk version 3 Pro is much better than the Logitech G502 X Plus. But don't get me wrong, they are both incredible products and you're not gonna go wrong getting either one. Just get the one that has the features that you like the most. That's exactly what I did, and I am more than happy with my purchase. Just take into account the differences of both products and choose the one that fits what you need better. You can check out more Tectonic Systems videos by clicking here. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.